Ray Douglas Bradbury was born on August 22, 1920 in Waukegan, Illinois. He is the youngest of three kids and spent his nights at a public library and days at his typewriter. He's always loved creating alternate endings to stories at age 12. Ray sold newspapers from 1938 to 1943. He became a full-time writer in 1943. Guy Montag is a fireman in a society where firemen don't prevent fires, rather, they start them. Books are banned from the public, and every time one is discovered, the books are burned and the owners are taken to an insane asylum. They want to prevent citizens from thinking and questioning anything. Guy meets other people who make him wonder about the world. These events start a journey for Guy, and he tries to overthrow the government and find the
Guy Montag is the main protagonist. He is a fireman, meaning that he doesn't put out fires, but he sets them. He loves his job in the beginning of the story, but after meeting Clarice McClellan, who acts so strange and different from everyone else in their society, that he is forced to think twice about his profession, what's best for everyone around him. Throughout the story, most of Montag's relationships begin to become distant, such as those with Mildred and Beatty. He also begins to reconnect with a man he met several years ago in a park named Faber, who helps him find himself and stand up for what he believes in. Clarice McClellan is an eccentric 17-year-old who plays a key role in changing Montag's life. She strangely meets Montag late at night on his way home from work while she's roaming in the streets. She teaches Montag to take an interest in the natural world and dies early in the book. Mildred Montag is Guy Montag's wife. She's addicted to technology and spends all day watching the parlor wall, which is a TV, and spends her nights with her iPod in her ears. She also has begun to overdose on sleeping pills, one night so bad that she has to have doctors pump her stomach out. She also thinks it's fun to take a drive and hit and kill dogs and rabbits in order to feel wonderful. She goes along with whatever the society tells you. Captain Beatty is Montag's fire chief. He plays a psychological game with Montag and is aware of his problems from the beginning. He's murdered by Montag after telling him to set fire to his own house and saying he's going to track Faber down and kill him. He's well-read and quotes literature while talking to Montag during the last day of his life. Professor Faber is a retired English professor that Montag meets in a park. Montag calls him to have him explain a stolen book to him. They create an earbud that will allow Faber to hear everything going on around Montag and talk to Montag. He also plays a psychological game with him, but this time helping Montag realize why books are important instead of hurting him.
A lot of futuristic technology is present in this novel. Considering how little technology there was in the mid-1900s, most of this technology is incredibly advanced and very creative. The interesting part is that most of the machines he described in the novel we have in society today. For instance, he told about a jet-powered monorail subway which we have in Disney World. Its appearance has a tremendous effect on the setting and the plot of the story. Without much of this technology, the characters in the story probably would be thinking about life and nature and how things work and not be glued to their TV parlors all the time. The technology itself is very intriguing. Some of the examples of the machines are a robotic dog that tracks based on a person's DNA samples, wall-sized interactive television, and an animated mechanical device that toasts bread and serves it to you. This advanced technology is very imaginative, and contemplating how little was present in Ray Bradbury's time, the creativity... The main theme of the book is that it's important to think on one's own and earn freedom through it. An example is how during the futuristic time period in which the book took place, people didn't know how to actually think on their own, so without knowing it, they are basically imprisoned. They also don't know what freedom is, and they really don't care. The main conflict is that Montag has been hiding books in his house for a while, and has been reading them, and he has finally been caught. This conflict starts out to be internal because of his constant argument with himself about whether being a fireman is right, whether he is happy and in love, and whether he should continue keeping the books. Then the conflicts become external when he is caught with the books and is forced to run away on a fight for his life. It's resolved when he escapes the mechanical hound and makes it to the country. The other main conflict is that Mildred is obsessed with technology and can't function without it. This conflict is internal because she is so caught up in it that it's all she can comprehend. Without technology, Mildred cannot act normal, and sadly this conflict is never resolved. The setting of Fahrenheit 451 is in and around Chicago. It takes place in the future, meaning after the 50s when the book was written. Since the book was written in the future, many things are different from our present-day society. Books have been banned to help for a more perfect society. The book gives examples from the present, telling that it was wrong how we use the books and other activities. The author's purpose was to entertain the readers with a glance at what he believes can be the future. Some important quotes are, "We must all be alike. Not everyone is born free and equal, as the Constitution says, but everyone is made equal. A book is a loaded gun in the house next door. Burn it. Take the shot from the weapon. breach man's mind. This means the government is making people live these perfect and normal lives that they believe benefits the society. The books are a weapon in society and hurt mankind. This affects the book because it tells how society has changed over the period of time. It also affects how society feels about books. Another quote is, "The sun burnt every day. It burnt time. Time was busy burning the years and the people anyway, without any help from him." So if he burnt things with the fireman and the sun burnt time, that meant that everything burned. That means people were burning books from society and burning the past. Everything is burning, whether it was time, books, or other once cherished things. The impact on the book is how it provides details on the fireman. The next quote is, "White blurs are houses, brown blurs are cows. My uncle drove slowly on a highway once. He drove 40 miles an hour and then yelled him for 2 days." And this quotes Clarice is telling Montag about things he is feeling about society. The quote tells about the future and how fast-paced everything is. This affects how Montag's curiosity develops throughout the book. The last quote is, "Don't step on the toes of the dog lovers, the cat lovers, doctors, lawyers, merchants, chiefs, Mormons, Baptists, Unitarians, second-generation Chinese, Swedes, Italians, Germans, Texans, Brooklites, Irishmen, people from Oregon or Mexico. The bigger your market, Montag, the less you handle controversy. With the many different types of people, it's hard not to offend people without opposing views." Beatty is explaining to Montag about how the books were banned. This affects how the people live in the future society and how they feel toward each other.